everyone. My name is Martin Sokk. I'm co-founder and CEO of Lightyear. Today, I'm going to share Lightyear's mission. But Lightyear's mission is quite a bit about you. How do we create successful investors? So, what does it really mean? So in Europe, we have this pretty sad situation. If you look into how many people are actually investing, it's only 15% of Europeans invest right now. If you compare this to the US, it's 50%, some say it's 60%. There's a lot of reasons why it's that. But none of these reasons should be blockers for Europeans to invest, to grow their wealth, to bring money into Europe. So this is our goal. Make successful investors so people are able to bring money into Europe. So we reckon that this successful part is rather important. If you're investing and you're successful, you continue doing so. If you're losing money, yeah, you have maybe a small monetary impact for a moment, but the bigger problem is that you're not going to come back. So you're not going to start investing when your first experience is bad. If you're losing money, you don't want to go there. So in the end, this means that we are losing out as Europe as a whole, because less people are building wealth, we have less money here. When we're analyzing the market and trying to figure out why people lose money, again, there's a lot of reasons, but one thing what I think we do wrong quite a bit in Europe is we put the company first. So that means we have high fees, but even more importantly, these fees are often hidden. So you don't know that. So you are buying a stock, there is a spread sometimes, you are converting the currency, there is a spread there, then you have monthly fees, there you have performance fees, there's a lot of fees, and all these fees are stopping you to be successful. I actually have seen the statistics how people in America, where fees are significantly lower, are much more successful just because the fees are not going to eat into your profit. The second part is the complex of design. It's really weird where we sometimes forget that investing can be complex, but it doesn't need to be visually complex. It doesn't need to be hard to understand. So we often are in this kind of weird environment. It's incredibly powerful. These tools are, for finance people, it's okay. But for everyday people who want to invest, you shouldn't have these kind of setups. You should have something much, much simpler. So this complex design often gets people putting off. They don't want to continue investing because I don't know where to get started. And the third one, which is really weird. I've been working in a financial industry more than 20 years. And more often is that companies come together, build a product. They don't really talk to customers. They try to find an opportunity what product to build. And then they give that to the customers and try to figure out, does it make sense? How do you maximize the profit out of that? I do think that in this complex environment as investing, but also complex environment as Europe, which has so many markets, countries, but also investors who have so many different needs. Some just getting started, some are more experienced investors, some focus just on dividends or ETFs or whatnot. You need to have a really good understanding what customers really want. I think we need to do something quite a bit different. So the first thing, let's put the customer first. And what does it really mean? We have been building an infrastructure, and this infrastructure is extremely important. It's important because we're cutting out a lot of middlemen, making sure that you have the lowest possible fees. Our pricing page is probably one of the most loved pages. People go there, they have a full understanding where every single fee is happening, so you can make your own decisions. So this often means that we're able to offer 10 times less fees than many other competitors around Europe. And this is a significant improvement in your profitability and making you a successful investor. The second part, how do we simplify the user experience? How do you create a great design? So one way is we just launched this year new design, just making it simple, make it easy to understand. It's a visual interface what really works for you. The other thing what works for you, we have put a lot of effort into building a Lightyear AI. What does it mean? So it's easy to say that we have an AI, we put the chat window into our product and call it as a good product. It's not. I think that to actually use the benefits of this technology, you need to be there where the customer actually needs that. So if you're seeing a chart, Apple goes down, you want to know why, you click on a chart, you will get an answer. If you are researching what company to buy or sell, we have gathered expert opinions under this company where people are having an opinion why it's a good company to buy, why it's a bad company to buy. And this, again, in the place where you are making this decision, helps you to form a better decision. You don't need to come up with the questions. This is there. We also put links where we get these answers so you can go and validate that. And now, if you have built your portfolio, you have stocks there, we monitor what's in there, but we also monitor what's happening in the world. So if something happens in the world, which is quite big, so Meta goes up 9%, and it's in your portfolio, and then we're gonna come and tell you, Meta is doing really well. The numbers are going up. That's why the Meta stock is going up. So you can, again, now make your informed decision what to do with this information. So we'll give you more power and understanding in a timely manner. This is something what we're really proud of. This creates the experience where people have less of a lot of weird, complex interfaces, but one simple interface. But I believe that less friction, the more people are able to do good decisions when investing. The customer feedback. So everybody says they're listening customer feedback. How do you do that? Like, I can give you 3 examples. How do we have done it recently? So one example is that we launched Lightyear product a couple of years ago. It was for retail customers, so humans who are just want to invest themselves. Then a lot of customers started to come to us and say, hey, like, I'm your customer, I love the product, but I have this small business here. So I have a flower shop. This business has money. Why I'm not able to put that business money to work? So we launched really simple business account where you can use, where you can invest your business money. So we focused not on a breadth that every single business in the world can come here. We focused on making it really simple. So the fastest business we onboarded took 25 seconds. So we tried to automate as much as possible. And today, more and more customers are coming in. We are now in 19 different markets with the same product. And this wouldn't happen if you wouldn't tell us that you want that. It's literally based on your feedback. The second thing, which is we came to Hungary with incredibly basic product, but probably 9 people out of 10 told me right away, you don't have a TBS account. These things are often quite difficult to do. Nobody other than Hungarians need this. And the same from ISA in the UK. Nobody in Hungary needs an ISA. There's only UK people. So you need to go market by market and make it happen. So we listened. But what we actually did, the lady, Flora, who was here on the stage before me, she's running our research department. She interviewed, I think, a couple of 100 customers and people on the market and tried to figure out, like, what is the product we actually need? Like, TBS is easy to say, but like, what is the product? And like, overwhelmingly, people said, like, we don't want to pay monthly fee. We don't want to pay to withdraw money, and so on. So when we collected this feedback and we realized that there's probably no reason to charge to use this account. Because if you build this in a good way and customers get the benefit, our business model works already. We don't have to have extra charge there. And this way, we're able to build really good product, what is probably better than the market. And if customers love that, then we have been succeeding with our business model as well. The third thing from the customer feedback is probably all of you who are actual our customers today have been impacting us. Yesterday, somebody asked me, it's like, do you have an ability to impact like what companies are on their platform? Like, answer is yes. Like, we are listening every day when people are searching companies and they don't find something, then there's a button, you can press it. And this will send a signal, what we quantify every single day, and we try to figure out what are the companies, what needs to be on the platform. The difficulty here is that every country in the world has a stock exchange. People want to buy various different stocks. you need to connect to all of them. This universe is hundreds of thousands of big. So we try to figure out what actually makes sense. So this year we have launched 60% more stocks. So we have pretty good coverage now. We can see like less and less people are needing new stuff. It starts to get more obscure. But like we are adding more. So want to make sure that you have everything what you have. So to pull this together quickly. So I do think that if we want to get Europe's 15% of investments actually going up, we need to have really good infrastructure what allows you to have low fees, have a great design, the great experience around that, and like actually the products what needs to be there. So this way you're able to create successful investors. So this begs the question, like, are our customers successful? It's a weirdly complicated question to answer. But if you take it really simply, yes, they are. But we look into the customers who are using our platform more seriously. How many of these customers are making money? So we came to really good surprise that 90% of these customers are actually making money, which is pretty wild. It's not because we have some secret formula how to get rich quick. It's not that. It's more about the product, what we are focusing on, and like the customers we love to have in our platform are focusing on long-term investments. They're focusing how to dollar cost average, like put more money regularly on a platform. The way the instruments what they're buying are less speculative, more diversified. ETFs are like by far the most popular products in our platform. So we have created a pricing structure where, for example, ETFs have no fees at all, just because we want to gear towards that people will be successful. And like the reason why we do that is it's rather simple. So I believe that if you make customers successful, then our business is successful because they will never leave. So then our business model is able to kind of continue working for a long time. So this has resulted now, we have created $150 million worth of new money on our customers. So this is actual money what impacts people's lives over the last 4 years. And I think even more like close to my heart is we think about if you put the money on a platform, then you trust us with your money. We want to make sure that this is safe, this is well kept, it's well invested in the best possible way. And you guys have put now $1 billion into our platform. Thank you. This is an acronym, but few people know. This is how you measure a customer satisfaction. Industry standard is something like 65%. In August, our CSAT was 90%. This is great honor to build a good product. But this is only because you guys are telling us what type of product to build and how to build it and how do you want to make it work for you. So as a company, I can see that we have built quite many successful investors and we are succeeding in this. But we are just getting started. We're getting started because a lot of things are still to build. A lot of things needs to happen for us to start really moving the 15% of Europeans towards this 50 what Americans have. So I would like to invite to the stage Tessa Bryant, who is probably one of the most brilliant minds I have ever worked with, and she will explain or introduce a couple of new products what we are launching, what will align really well the way we think about making successful investors. Tessa, join me on the stage.
Thanks, Martin. We have such a strong group of investors on our platform, so we asked you, how do you invest? And in short, you all told us, I have a plan. Most investors have a plan. They put their money aside for their children and their education, or for retirement, and some want to build wealth as part of a legacy. These plans are normally made up of 3 things. They're goal-based. 88% of you told us that you have a goal when you're investing. For example, it could be that you separate your long-term convictions against your short-term bets. Second, it often involves buying at regular intervals, whether the market's up or down. 60% of you told us that you invest with a passive strategy. This is also known as dollar cost averaging. And third, you want your plan to be able to be there and you monitor it and you can adjust it accordingly. So we asked ourselves, does Lightyear work like this? Not really. You're all Lightyear users. You know that you buy a single stock, one at a time, to make up your portfolio. You don't really have a way of differentiating any of your portfolio. Your fund money and your retirement money live next to each other. This experience can be so much better. So I'd love to show you a sneak peek of a feature that we're building that we're calling plans. Plans are a way to bring your investment strategy right into the app. They let you group your investments and buy that group regularly. It's these three things: goal-based, regular, and monitored. Select any of the investments across our range of ETFs, stocks, and funds. Bring them into one group. You can now call these whatever you like, group them however you might like. Second, we have regular payments built in. So you can toggle auto-invest into your plan, and you can now buy this group. You can also decide how much you want to invest and how frequently. You can then decide exactly how the regular investments get divided up. You can split this by percentage or by currency value. And third, it's really easy to monitor and analyze your plan. You can look at the holdings breakdown. This can also include all the events that take place, such as your dividend payments or earnings calls or our lightning updates. We're going to be offering plans at no additional cost for all customers. So to sum up, plans enable you to group investments on Lightyear, regularly buying that group. Dollar cost averaging is now built in and it's fully automated. This is huge for long-term serious investors, and we think you're going to love it. So that's plans. But before I wrap up, I should probably talk about the most requested feature on Lightyear, which is more stocks and more funds. We're building Lightyear as a platform for everyone to invest in anything, anywhere. And as Martin said, we're already hard at work at this. Back when we started Lightyear, we had about 500 US stocks. And we're really proud to sit here today with over 6,000. This isn't the end. We plan to add thousands more in the coming year. But actually, there's one more thing about the stock universe that we think you're going to love. I'm going to ask Martin to come back out to tell you all about it.
Thanks, Tessa. The people who have really good eyesight probably have figured it out already. This is how we came to Hungary. We built a basic product 2 years ago. You told us you need a TBS account. We listened, we built a TBS account. We also translated everything into Hungarian language. Weirdly enough, at one point, 10% of our company was Hungarians. Like, we expand into the company-wide, into the country as well. But this year, we try to build or level up our game every single year. So this year, I'm really proud to announce that we have all the Hungarian stocks now. So we are now officially, from 2 hours ago, we have put up a stock exchange in our app. I have spent my first million forint to buy Hungarian stocks. Same Lightyear experience. Just tell me what do you want to buy, confirm, and it goes. Simple as that. You can use this in a savings plans in the future. You can use it in any way you like to use Lightyear app. On this note, I'm actually really proud to ask to join me on a stage, put up a stock exchange CEO, Tibor Tóth. Hi. I have only a couple of questions to you. Like, why it's important for Hungarians to have put up a stock exchange access?
Thanks, Martin. Basically, it's a fantastic news for us, and to be honest, I feel quite fortunate because we are recently just keep on celebrating. First, we have celebrated a few months ago the 35th birthday of the Budapest Stock Exchange. Then later on, we reached the historic and symbolic level of the books index, which reached the 100,000 level. It is important to note that the original level was 1,000. So in the past 35 years, the index has become bigger 100 times, which is an outstanding performance. And basically, this is the third major celebration, but I think this is the most important for us. And I'm saying this is the most important because the first two was about history and about the past, and this one is about the future. And let me take a personal note here, but I only joined to the Budapest Stock Exchange 5 months ago, but one of the key issues that I recognize and identified is that if we are watching and analyzing the retail access opportunities for Hungarian households, then we don't really, or basically now we can say we didn't have a user-friendly, cheap, easily accessible platform through which Hungarian retailers can get access to Hungarian shares. And this solution is enabling everybody to get access to these shares, and not only the Hungarian households, but also a much wider range and many countries around the world.
Yeah, like I think the impact of this is also that other 24 markets where we are operating, they all have now access to the Hungarian forint and also Budapest Stock Exchange. So, like I'm Estonian resident, I was able to buy today stock from Hungarian Stock Exchange, which is, I think, like really great thing to bring Europe together.
Yeah, I think it was I have to say it was a wise decision because we have a very good track record among the Hungarian investors, basically among the Hungarian household and retailers who invest into stocks. The total portfolio, this 2/3 of the portfolio is consisting Hungarian shares, and only they are investing 1/3 to foreign shares, which is an outstanding share. But what I would like to highlight that, for example, in the last 3 years after the war has started in the neighborhood, the return on investment on the Hungarian shares exceeded 150%, which is way above and much higher like the DAX index or the Standard & Poor's index. Their performance is much lower. So I think the potential in the Hungarian market is really significant, and I still believe that there is a good potential in that for the future.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I think like today, one of the problems for exchanges in Europe is that the liquidity goes to the US. If you're able to get the liquidity more into the Europe, this creates much more better environment for us here as well.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martin.
Now, before I'm going to let you go, we are able to take a couple of questions if anybody wants to ask from me or from Tibor.
Thank you. Does it work? It does.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Martin. My name is Bela. My question is about insurance. So you talked about it really briefly. So can you tell us maybe more, like in the future, will it maybe raised for Hungarian investors or European investors?
You're asking from customer protection insurance?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So like protection insurance is like a last defense line in this business. So when we think about like how the customer's assets are protected, this comes from the first and foremost is that you are well regulated with a good regulator. The second is you have customer asset segregation. So Lightyear operates in a way that your money belongs to you. We can't use your money for anything. We can't put it anywhere. We can't use that for our own business. It's actually in a separate account in various different banks around the world, which is just the customer money. So even in the tragic situation when Lightyear disappears, then your money is there, and nobody has a claim for that. But actually, before anything like this happens, is that regulated institutions like we are, in a way we are regulated, we have the requirement of report all the capital requirements. And that means that 7 months before we are starting to show any signs that we are in trouble, regulator comes and publicly announces that you need to offboard every single customer. So this is offboarding process. This means that we need to announce to every customer, it's a public information, that we are going to shut down in upcoming 7 months, and you have your time to transfer your assets away or pull it out, so your assets are always in safe. So this is extremely important. We are audited every single month effectively. We are reporting every single number to the regulators, not only into our regulator, but this information is shared. So the last border is the customer like depository insurance, which covers if everything blows up and there is like a criminal case behind it. But this is like the last situation where it comes in. Various different European markets have a different level where the deposit insurance is. So right now, I'm actually really curious to see if Europe finally comes together and have pan-European insurance. And like I can see the talks are happening. That would be the best one, because then, like all the whatever $20 trillion euros of assets will be protected in the same way. Right now, we are dependent on various different markets. But yeah, this is the last resort. So your assets are yours and they're well protected.
Yeah, thank you. Very extensive answer.
Thanks for the feedback.
Thank you.
I do have a quick one then. Hi, Martin. Hello. So a quick question on this great announcement on that Hungarian stocks will be available through the platform. So my question wanted to be like, will you plan to have a bigger campaign on how current Lightyear users who are already Hungarian can be advocates and how can benefit to also make it more popular, or maybe invite others to the platform so we are able to reach a more consistent level of growth when it comes to new customers from Hungary?
So this is a really interesting topic, actually. I feel like it's a planted question a little bit, because
it's not.
Our growth comes, 2/3 of our growth comes from organic. So the way we believe how the good products should grow is that you figure out, so that CSAT score, what we saw here, is that when you're getting into the critical level, then if people really like the product, they will recommend this product to others. And like 2/3 of our growth comes from this kind of structures. So we look into what's the Hungarian, what's the different types of the investors, what's like Estonian, UK people, and where are the levels, and if it gets good, then they recommend. But the other way of doing it is you give people incentive. That, hey, like you like the product, you will introduce us a customer, we'll share the revenue with you. So the way what we are actually doing now, we should be able to launch this in a month or two, is we are revamping our referral scheme. So I don't know on top of my head the exact numbers in forints, but like I know right now the maximum what you're able to get from one customer if you're bringing them in is like roughly 10 euros. We're bringing this up to the 100 euros. So it's up to 100. So you have an opportunity to have like 10 or 50 or 100 per this customer, and this is a good incentive. The trick there is for us to figure out how to build it in a way that really good customers bring really good customers. Then this makes a lot of sense. If you have customers who maybe want to be traders or gamblers, then we don't want their friends as well, because they tend to be a similar one. So the way we try to build it in a way that we have really good customers bring more similar customers, and this actually hopefully has quite significant impact when we are able to up the ante on the price side as well.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much. And if I may, just a short one. You also, so one of the key advantages of using Lightyear platform is the low and consistent fees that you can rely on. With the growth that you are planning, and also the speed of the growth of the platform and accessibility of other stocks, do you have a plan, of course not a guarantee, but like how are you able to keep those prices on a level which will not really come closer to what is offered by some like traditional institutions?
So that's a really good question. The first thing what I would ask from you is that like why it's so expensive right now to buy a stock. Like if you think about finance prices, then maybe a stupid example. If my mom goes to the bank, she pays many percentages to get something. I go to the bank, I'm more knowledgeable, I pay quite a bit less. If my friend who has $1 billion goes to the bank pays him. So how is this possible? So it's a scale business, and if you have a good infrastructure, you're able to offer this solution. So like, for example, the money market fund, what we have right now on our platform, gives you, it's such a big product. So the minimum amount what companies who usually use that need to put money in is 500 million. So, and therefore, it's such an industrial product, you get a good price. So for us, we are operationally profitable. So the way we operate today, the way we spend money, is not to offer you a product. It's for extend our product, to extend our markets, get a better user experience. So it's product building, marketing building. Operationally, we are already in a good position. We just raised the funding. So we raised $23 million, mostly to make sure that we're able to extend this business. Because we are not here to build a business what has $1 billion. So Europe has 20 trillion euros right now on the market already. This is this 15% of retail investments. So we're going after this. So it means that we need to have a really efficient system. We can charge a little, but if we're able to scale a lot, then this little gives us quite a bit of money. And that's why we're able to scale into really well into profitability. So I think we need to cut it. I have one question to you. Why it's like 60% of Hungarians are investing in Hungarian stocks? Like, where does this come from? Because if you read news generally, then you have like Teslas and Amazons and all these ones. Like, why Hungarians prefer Hungarian stocks?
Actually, I believe that we have good statistics and bad statistics as well. This is the good one. The bad one is that out of their total liquidity, Hungarian households only keep 4% in Hungarian shares. So we are still very conservative. So we are still keeping our money in our pockets or side accounts, or even if we are more sophisticated in government bonds, but the 4% as a total investment into Hungarian shares out of the total liquid assets, it's quite disappointing. But those who are investing into shares, they have the financial awareness and knowledge and background. And I think the track record of the Budapest Stock Exchange is quite self-explanatory. So this kind of return is justifying their good decisions. And also I think it's quite natural that if you live in a country, you are quite familiar with the names that are operating in the country, that whether they are doing fine or not. It's quite difficult to judge performance of a company in the US. Okay, my broker is telling me that it's a very excellent company and I can check the balance sheet, of course. But I think you can feel it on your skin. How is OTP doing? How is MOL doing? And all these companies, and not only Hungary, but they are already regional giants. So I think this could be the background, and I'm quite confident that this kind of 4% figure, which is something with which we are not very satisfied, it's going to increase significantly.
Yeah, I see that a lot. People trust companies, what they see around them. If they go to the store, they see this company, and they understand this business much better than maybe a German or a US company. And like this, I think, is a key thing to actually build a brokerage in Europe. You have to have a local impact. You have to have taxes, language, but also make sure that the local companies are available. Thank you. This is exciting to be a part of it.
Thank you.